Hi all. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today I am doing my Pat McGrath quad ranking. Full disclosure, guys, I've shot this video twice. Why, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. The first time I filmed it, it was fine. I just accidentally deleted the footage. The second time I filmed it, I had something on my face the entire time and didn't realize it because I wear glasses, and when I shoot videos without my glasses, a lot of the times I can't see, which is why you guys see me looking at the viewfinder. It's so that I can know what is actually going on, because I can't see without my glasses. And I'm being stubborn about wearing contacts while I film, because contacts, I'm like, oh, well, I don't need them. I should have worn my contacts. Rant complete. So I am going to rank for you today my Pat McGrath quads. I have already ranked my motherships and my six pan minis. I own 8 quads total, and yeah, let's get into it. So first up, or last on the list, number 8 on the list, is Bronze Borealis, and this is from the 2021 holiday collection. This is just a basic palette. I don't have anything to say bad about the formula. Again, I say this about all of my Pat McGrath videos when it comes to her eyeshadows. I have never encountered a shadow of hers that I disliked because of the formula. For me, if it's going to be an issue, it's usually color story preference. That's it. This, for me, I just think is basic. It's basic for her. I feel like you can find this kind of color story anywhere. It looks like a Charlotte Tilbury quad, to be quite honest. Like, that's a Charlotte Tilbury color story right there. I just find it very basic, and I feel like she could have done more. You know, it just was very underwhelming for me personally. So that is number 8. That is at the bottom of the list. Next up is one of the quads from her first collection or trio of quads that she came out with in 2018 for holiday, and that is Nocturnal Nirvana. That looks like this. This is a pretty color story. It's just not something that I reach for very often. There's again, nothing wrong with it. It's just when I think about my quads, it's one of the last ones I think about because reasons. I have no idea. It's just the colors are pretty, but they're not colors that I wear very often. You know what I mean? So that one is number 7. Just nothing wrong with it. It's just, I just don't reach for it. Next up is Ritualistic Rose. And this is another one from that trio. This one I actually think is very, very pretty. I purchased this when I purchased Divine Rose 1, and I purchased them to go together as like a companion. This is like as a companion palette to that, a complement to that palette. And I do like this. I don't reach for it as much as I used to, but I think that if you have both of these, and you haven't, or this one and Divine Rose 1, and you haven't paired those two together, get on that. They look beautiful together. Beautiful palette. I just haven't reached for it in a while. Just same thing with Divine Rose 1. Like Divine Rose 1, I haven't reached for in quite a while. So this one is kind of, as a result, has fallen by the wayside too. Number 5 is Iconic Illumination. I think this is the name of that one. Is that the right name? Yes, Iconic Illumination. This is what she looks like. She's very pretty. Fun fact, this shade here is a dead-on dupe for the shade Collision from LH Cosmetics. So if you were interested in this shade, I think she doesn't have, Linda Hallberg doesn't have this shade in eyeshadow powder formula. I think she has it only as a liquid formula now, but this is a dupe. They were dead-on dupes for each other. Outside of that, this palette is very pretty. I think this one is the most versatile of the 3 because you have this shade here and this shade here, which can function like, if this thing wants to focus, this can function like satins, specifically this one, and this can function like a satin as well. This one is just like a gold, and it doesn't have the texture that this one has. So I really feel like you can go in with like this to in your crease or to deepen your outer corner, and then use one of these two. Or you can use this one as well. I just think it's a more cohesive, like, even though these are all special shades, and all 3 of her original trio of quads were special shades, but this is the one that has a formula that's more of that almost like satin, almost like a baked satin, if that makes sense, that you can use to function like a matte. 4 in my ranking is Voyeuristic Vixen, and this is what she looks like. And what makes this palette is this shade right here. seriously, it makes this quad worth the money. And I believe she still has this on her website. If she does, I'll link it, of course. Beautiful, beautiful shade. The colors in this are basic, but I think having one shade that has some beautiful texture and is a beautiful color, it elevates everything else around it. This like taupey shade is also really pretty. But again, it's basic, but that's okay because then you have this. Because I feel like when I'm wearing something like this, I'm okay with everything else around it being simple because that highlights how special that shade is. So yeah, this is quad, my ranking, what is this? 4. It's 4. Next up is number 3, and this is actually the second quad from the 2021 collection. And so Bronze Borealis, which was the other one, ranks at the bottom, but this one actually ranks at number 3, which I think is pretty decent. And it's really, honestly, because of this shade right here. It's just stunning. And again, it's supported by these other shades that are fairly basic, but that complement it, you know, and make that shade really the star of the show, which is fine. Like, I don't feel like that all the shades in a quad have to be a star. I think a quad is meant to sort of be like a really edited color story. And so for me, that's how this works. You've got a matte deepening shade, you've got a soft shimmery, it's got a little bit of a shift to it, like a peachy tone. You've got a bronzy tone, and then you've got this blue that just gives you, you know, something really interesting and special. So this is number 3. Number 2 is from her Holiday 2020 collection, and it is the Fleur Fantasia, which is this bad boy here. So pretty. Let me see, pull back so you guys can really see the colors so they're not so blown out, but that's what it looks like. I know, I mean, what I love about this is that it's so different for Pat. She doesn't do color stories like this. It was so unique from her normal aesthetic, and that's really what made it stand out for me. I just feel like it's such a fun color story, and I use this palette to create one of my favorite looks that I've ever done, ever. So it has a special place in my heart. I don't pull it out very often to use, but I enjoy it, and the shades look very light. They are very pigmented, I will say. Full disclosure, I don't think that this will show up on anyone deeper than me, but Pat generally has a lot of deep shades. So for her to do something light it's a switch up. So I don't mind that. But yes, this is number 2. The Interstellar Icon palette here, which is also from Holiday 2020. Love this, love everything about it. This shade is a repeat, but I don't care. This bronze is beautiful. This blue is beautiful. This is just like, this is a Pat McGrath color story, and I'm here for it. Like, even though Fleur Fantasia is a departure, this one is not, but I'm okay with that. I just love this palette. I think it's such a great color story. And for me, this is like the one that, it was a battle between this one and Fleur Fantasia, but this one won out for the number 1 spot, hands down. All right, guys, that is my ranking. I am speeding through it because my battery wants to die. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like. And if you are not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. I have all of my other Pat McGrath palette rankings on my channel, and I have a playlist of all of my Pat McGrath videos. So if you want to check those out, please be sure to do so. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.